All right, folks, you wanted a deep dive on XCN, so we're going to deliver it to you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. How I am positioned in XCN, I want to provide that context as we get started. We've seen a massive move on the charts, but are there any fundamentals? Is anybody using the token? You know my number one question for any project, who the hell is actually using your token? Not who you're doing photo ops with, not who you're collaborating with on some consulting and some ideas. Where does the rubber meet the road, or does it at all? And so we ask the simple question, who the heck is actually using your token? Now, in this update, please be mindful. I have a small position of XCN. I've already traded out of this coin mostly. I got in at a penny, sold off at 2 cents, sold off more at 2.5 cents. It then went up to about 5 cents. And so I missed the most recent high that we got. It came back down here to 3 cents, and now it's establishing some support above 3 cents. The previous all-time high for XCN is 18 cents. And this was done back in 2023, I believe, or 2022. I may be mistaken on that. Let me double check. That was 2022. May of 2022, 3 years ago, is when XCN went up to a 18-cent price. Now, before XCN, this token was actually called Chain, and it went by the ticker CHN. So here's the historical chart on CHN. I don't know, I was looking on when this token was originally created, but eventually this coin ended up reaching a price up here about $100 per token. Now there's a small supply, I think it was about 100 million of these tokens. And what ended up happening is in 2022, they rolled over to the XCN token, and they gave all of the existing CHN holders 1,000 tokens for their one CHN. So basically, if you held one CHN, you were given 1,000 XCN. So this would explain why the token was trading at $100 per token before, and then now we're in the pennies, right? And the all-time high of the XCN token is 18 cents because with this new token, the highest it's ever gone was 18 cents 3 years ago. So where are we at right now? Let's take a look here at the chart on XCN. This has been one heck of a runner. And I want to say to our community, a shout out to you guys, because you guys were telling me about this coin all through last year. I slept on it, I missed it, and I ended up buying in way higher. Although I made money, I could have made a lot more. Check this out. A 4,000% move for XCN since the election. You guys know I've been looking at XRP, and basically comparing in the new Trump reality, which coins have performed the best. And XRP ran up about 600% so far, XLM similar, and we've been celebrating that. That's been great. But XCN just went and blasted off here, 4,000%. For those of you guys listening at home, that is a 40x. That's one heck of a return. Now, like I said, it popped up here to about 1.5 cents, pulled back, and on this pullback, this is where I made my entry. I got in right at about 1 cent, and I was just looking to double this thing up, and so I sold off here at 2 cents and then 2.5 cents before it went up all the way to 5 cents right here. But from a low down here at 0.001, 1/10 of 1 cent, all the way up to 5 cents, that's a 40x return if you played that one properly. Massive, massive swing. So that's the good news. Okay, we're going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so the good news is that XCN has gone up. There's a lot of momentum behind it. This is why I entered it, was a momentum swing trade. As I started to look into the project, the coin pulled back, and so I made my entry, I made my trade. Now I've taken the time to research the fundamentals, and I'm going to explain why this is not going to be a long-term hold for me, but I'll leave that up to you guys. I'm not going to give anybody financial advice, but I'm just going to show you what I found. Here we go. So the good news is that you can still stake your XCN right now for 23% APR. Now, this was up higher. It was at like 40%. Last year, I think at one point it was even up at 60%. And so for staking your XCN, you can still get over 20%. It's come down substantially. And as more and more holders are coming in and staking, we could see this go down even further. But while XCN holds this price, and if it is going up higher, I mean, staking at 20% is not a bad deal at all. One of my concerns here, though, is that there's just this one app. This app.onyx.org is basically the one app, the one website for the staking, the history, the swap, the farm, and the governance. And that's what this is now at this point. It's the Onyx DAO is the DAO basically that's helping to govern the direction of this token. And then you have the company chain, which is similar to Ripple and the relationship between Ripple and XRP, where, obviously the XRP ledger is decentralized. Many people hold XRP. Ripple has the largest supply of XRP, and Ripple is the largest contributor or builder or business within our ecosystem. In a similar aspect, Chain is in a similar role to XCN and the Onyx protocol. But they've established this Onyx DAO, and then they changed the token from Chain to XCN because they were trying to distance themselves, and they were trying to decentralize this project. Now, like I said, though, this choke point of just having one app, one interface for interacting with the staking and the farming and the governments, that to me is worrisome. That would be like on the XRP ledger, we only have one app. We only have Zaman for accessing the XRP ledger. When XP Market, for example, if XP Market had an issue, you could go to X Magnetic. If X Magnetic had an issue, you could go to Anados Finance. If they had an issue, you could go to Zaman Wallet. You could just go to the XRP ledger DEX yourself, right? On this protocol, there's one app, one website that I've seen that allows you to do the staking, the governance, and all that. I don't like that choke point of just having access through one platform. So that's kind of a concern. But here is the website right here. Like I said, allows you to do all these things. And right now they're offering 23% APR. I'm not sure if you have to lock up for a certain amount of time or what the stipulations are on that. But right now it's at 23%. Now, here's where the red flags start to arrive for me. In the past couple weeks, there's been this whole ordeal with Justin Sun. Justin Sun, founder of Tron, HTX, the exchange, and he came forward a couple weeks ago alleging that basically this company Chain was manipulating the price of XCN. And this was as XCN had run up. Now, XCN in price started to fall off after this news came out, after Justin Sun made these allegations. Within 24 hours, the basically Onyx and Chain and some people involved here threatened to sue Justin Sun. And then it comes out here, this tweet came out on January 24th, just about a week ago. The Onyx DAO is thrilled to announce a resolution of an unrelated XCN issue with HTX Global and Justin Sun for a matter from 2022. OIP 51 will be deployed to grant, HTX market support for XCN. It was confirmed that the recent statements made did not relate to any recent matter in the price appreciation of XCN, which is in thanks to our community. HTX Global and Justin Sun will be involved in XCN staking and governance with this proposal. Now, this proposal is now live. It has passed. It has been approved by the community. They decided to let Justin Sun on board. Now, if you go back here, this is the website. We're on the governance page. This explains what this was. This proposal that will grant Justin Sun 500 million, Justin Sun and HTX 500 million XCN to acquire with a lockup and settlement after 2 years. So basically, he has to stake this, he has to lock it up for 2 years. Now, why is this such a big red flag? This is a massive red flag because Justin Sun comes out and alleges that they're involved in manipulation, while Justin Sun himself is involved in ongoing litigation for manipulating the price of Tron. This right here is the SEC website. This is the press release that they put out in March of 2023 when they first brought this lawsuit against Justin Sun and his companies, along with 8 celebrities, including Soulja Boy. Huge shout out to Soulja Boy, the best rapper alive. Lindsay Lohan, Jake Paul, Austin Mahone, Lil Yachty. Shout out Lil Yachty. Uh-oh. Lil Boat. Lil Boat got in trouble. Neo and Akon were all involved in this. And what they didn't do is they didn't disclose that they were being paid by Tron. Now, I was trying to figure out where this case is at in the ongoing litigation. There's some filings and stuff that came about in the end of 2024, basically in August. And so I pulled up and I asked Grok, what's the status of the SEC case against Tron and Justin Sun? And basically, they just say that we're at an ongoing battle right now. The case continues to evolve with no definitive conclusion reached yet. It remains a significant legal challenge in the crypto space focusing on regulatory oversight in the application of U.S. securities laws to digital assets and their promoters. Now, the saving grace for Justin Sun might be the incoming SEC chair, and the new commission basically decides to let this go. And that would obviously explain, too, why Justin Sun just invested $30 million in World Liberty Financial. So after paying millions of dollars for that banana on a wall, yeah, that Justin Sun, that was that guy that bought the banana duct taped to a wall, whatever form of art that is. Justin Sun bought that. And then, he's involved here in this ongoing case. But that didn't stop him and probably encouraged him to investing that $30 million in World Liberty Financial, which some members of the XCN community I see are starting to kind of reach a little bit by saying that because, now Justin Sun's involved with XCN and he just invested in World Liberty Financial, is Trump going to look at XCN and this and that? And guys, this is why I compare every project that I look at, I compare to Ripple and I compare to XRP in the XRP ledger. I compare tokens to XRP, I compare blockchains to the XRP ledger, and then I compare companies to Ripple. And there's a big difference between speculating, hypotheticals, and what you see right here. Big difference. Big difference between talking about it and being right next to the president at dinner for 2.5 hours. Big difference. So be careful, because I'm going to go into showing you guys here now all the other stretches and all the other narratives that have really pumped up and hyped up XCN and whether or not they're for real. I'm going to show you this here next. Before I get there, though, I want to add one more point, one last point on Justin Sun, because folks are touting this as a great deal. I see this as a big, massive red flag, because not only is Justin Sun in an ongoing lawsuit for actually manipulating token price, right? That's the allegation. Innocent until proven guilty, but there's a lot there. I'll just say that there's a lot there. And then what also just happened here is the courts actually ruled district court is allowing TRX investors to proceed with securities class action. This is from October 2024. So while I was looking up this ongoing lawsuit, I also find that there's investors that are filing a class action against Justin Sun for this, violation of the securities laws. So Justin Sun has some issues. Not to say that that won't get fixed. Not to say that he's not innocent. I'm not going to say that. It's just, it's a storm cloud over Justin Sun. And I don't like that. Here in the XRP community, we got smooth sailing. It's all clear. But the fact that the community really jumped on this as some sort of positive, it could end up being that. But to me, it's a massive, massive red flag. Now let's hone in on this company, Chain. Founded in 2014. And the gentleman who founded this was Adam Ludwin, was the original CEO, Adam Ludwin. And I think he went to Harvard Business, and then he's been involved in some other startups. This guy's now gone from the company. Okay, so he founded this company in 2014. They sold off to Lightyear, and here is the article right here from 2018. In 2018, Chain Inc. was acquired by Lightyear Corp., a company focused on the Stellar blockchain. Okay, now they merged this together with Interstellar. For those of you guys in the Stellar community, you've heard about this probably. And so basically Chains got integrated into Interstellar. But then later on in 2020, I believe, or 2022, this company ends up getting reacquired and basically going independent and private once again. So I was trying to find out who owns this company now. Who's running this company? Who works at this company? Okay. I can see who invested in the original Chain back in 2014, and the list is very impressive. NASDAQ, Citigroup, big partnerships that they had, big collaborations back in 2014, 15, 16, 17. But here in 2025, who the hell's running this company? I couldn't find out. So I asked Twitter last night, and somebody responded. They said that Chain now operates as an independent entity, and Deepak Thapliyal serves as the CEO. Okay, well, I went and looked up this guy. Okay, Deepak Thapliyal. He has one past job as the CEO of Chain, but now he's currently the chief investment officer of his own VC firm, Thapliyal Capital, since last year. So I mean, this says one past job. So this is from crunchbase.com. And I almost had to buy a $500 per year subscription to Crunchbase yesterday because I was researching this, and it is a very valuable website for looking up basically who is invested in private companies, who's running these private companies, and it gives you, you can look at other investors as well too. So it looks to me like this guy was the CEO of Chain, but he's now gone. I went to his Twitter page, and he only put out about half a dozen tweets in 2024. He touts himself as an NFT investor. And I did see that he did tweet in August of 2022 about the collaboration with Tiffany and Company and Punks. Now, this was one of the partnerships that Chain had back in the day. Now, if I go to this page right here, this is Chain, and these are the companies and some of the partnerships that they have. Trusted by leading companies. This is on Chain's website. And you see Tiffany and Company right here. Well, what was that? Well, that was this deal right here, this collaboration with Punks, Tiffany and Company, and they used Chain to help them launch this NFT project. So this, was a nice deal, nice little collab with Tiffany and Company, right? Nice deal, big deal, cool, great. This guy's gone, and now I can't find out who's running this company. So I don't know. If anybody knows in the comments, let me know who's running this company. When I look on Crunchbase at their website, at that page for the company, it shows a chief marketing officer, and it shows about another 5-6 people that work for the company. And because I don't have a membership there, I couldn't see who they were. But there's no faces on their website, which right away is a massive red flag for me. If projects aren't willing to put their face out there, I usually just skip the investment opportunity right away. I just say, thanks, yeah, keep it. If you're not willing to put your face behind it, there's a very good reason for that. 9 out of 10 times you're a fraud, you're a scammer, and yeah, I'm going to keep my money. Thank you very much. Massive red flag for Chain. And I understand they're trying to decentralize this, right? The Onks DAO, and it's the community and governance and everything. Okay, that's great, but you still need builders. You need developers. And that's the problem. When I went to go see who is building, who's working at this company Chain, are there any independent developers who are building and working here with this? No, I couldn't find anything. And that's the problem with ERC20 tokens. This is an ERC20 token, so you can't go. It's not a layer 1 blockchain where you can go to a blockchain explorer and see who's validating the network, who's running nodes, who's building. One thing I didn't do in my research is I didn't make it to GateHub, so I can't see if there's been some recent development or who's putting forward all these proposals. But there are some people are, because we just saw this proposal went live to allow Justin Sun in. So clearly there's a few people doing some things here, but the problem with ERC20 tokens is that they're on Ethereum. So that right there in and of itself is also a red flag. What issue is Ethereum running into right now? Massive scaling issues. They don't have enough storage. And so they're hitting a scaling issue right now in Ethereum that's a massive red flag for all of Ethereum projects. But because this is just another one of 100,000 ERC20 tokens, and it's not its own blockchain, it's not its own layer 1, you can't really see who's building on this. And basically all the transactions are just running through the Ethereum blockchain, which is also a red flag. But I want to show you this because there's a lot of narratives right now. First off, this is not involved with JP Morgan. JP Morgan's Onks blockchain project, that's completely separate. There's a lot of misinformation being spread right now, and for rightful reasons. I mean, they have the same name. They had the Onyx blockchain protocol from JP Morgan, and then this is also the Onyx protocol, right? Onyx, I don't know how you pronounce it, but there's a confusion. And it's a problem because it's not involved with JP Morgan at all. Okay, that's a completely separate project. And in fact, JP Morgan has rebranded that project and now they call it Kinesis. Completely separate. But when it comes to real collaborations that the Chain company had, that's key word, had back in the day, years ago, they were impressive. They were very impressive. Now, this all started when this company first got going. They raised $30 million from financial industry leaders. Partners include Visa, NASDAQ, Citi, Capital One, Pfizer, and Orange. So this was back in 2015. I want to show you how this game is played right here, guys. This is a great example of how this game is played. In this new crypto age, what's happening is these new tech startups, they're starting up these companies, right? And they're using these tokens to basically bring in funding for their company. It's very simple. And in a lot of the products and the services and the business that they're building out, they might not necessarily even need a token, but they launch a token so that they can get funding for their business. Now, it looks to me and it appears to me that basically Chain, the company, did both. They went and raised $30 million from Visa, NASDAQ, Citi, Capital One, I mean, big hitters, right? And then they also launched a token too. And then what they did is back in 2015, the insiders got in. NASDAQ, Citigroup, Visa, Capital One. The insiders got in, right? And then after that, basically Chain went around and they started to do all this testing with their partners, Visa, NASDAQ, Citigroup, etc. And so that's what we're looking at here. Now, if you go, and this is the problem, is that people don't verify this. People see that Visa and NASDAQ invested in this company back in 2015, and they still think that there's something ongoing here in 2025. I can't find anything that's ongoing with any of these earlier investors. Not one thing. Prove me, give me something in the comments if you have it. I mean, this is open, guys. I'm not claiming to be the guru on XCN. I'm just telling you what I found. And I know where to look on these projects. When I go to the company website right here, I actually click on all these links. And I see where these links take me. And I see the story that they're telling. And so I slide on over here. This is blockchain-based Visa B2B Connect APIs in action. Now, please note that this is November 2017. And you can see the platform, which was first announced last year, runs by working with Chain to build Visa B2B Connect using Chain Core, an enterprise blockchain infrastructure that facilitates financial transactions. Okay. You get it. This is from Visa's website, Community Visa Developer Center. It's still up there from 2017. Remember, the insiders invested in 2015, and then in 2016 and 2017, this is when these press releases started to come out about collabing and partnerships and trialing, testing, a lot of testing. Did any announcements come out that any of these guys bought XCN tokens? No. But these announcements are still up there. Visa, yep, they did help. Now, if you look at the current documentation for Visa B2B Connect, Chain's nowhere to be seen. XCN, nowhere to be seen. Let me continue. Chain and global financial firms unveil open standard for blockchain. What year is this? May 2016. Capital One, Citigroup, Fidelity, First Data, Pfizer, they list off all their partners. Contribute to innovative protocol for high-scale operations. Now, this is a PR Newswire press release. News provided by Chain. What does this mean? It means that Chain sent a little checky check. They attach all of the investors, NASDAQ, Citi, Capital One, all of them, right? They're all contributing to this blockchain, right? And this project, right? Well, they did. In fact, when you look down on this press release right here, you go down and you see it says right here, a chain open standard is pioneering all this, right? Good. This is all great. You click on this link. Where does it take you? 404. This page cannot be found. Chain.com/OS doesn't exist any longer. And obviously this is from 2016. So I mean, they've changed and it's new. They're working on new things, right? The governance from the DAO is working on some new things, right? I get that. But all of this originally testing and basically piloting, all of these collabs that were taking place with Visa, B2B Connect, all of this other stuff that was going on here back in the day, they helped out Tiffany and Company. Basically, all these companies used Chain to be able to learn about blockchain technology. Remember, this is back in 2015, 16, 17, when this is all still new. This is when Ripple was doing a bunch of testing, right? And helping out with piloting. And this was a big learning moment for us in the XRP community too, understanding that not all of Ripple's partners were actually using XRP. Some of them were not using XRP at all. And so we've already gone through this process in the XRP community. I think that the XCN community needs to go through this process as well and actually go verify, are any of these earlier investors still involved with Chain? Are they even still invested in Chain? Did they already make their exits? Is anybody using the XCN token? Is anybody holding the XCN token? Now we're going to give tokens to Justin Sun, who has some pretty serious allegations of manipulation. That's the only guy that we really have here that's going to be, picking up a bag of XCN. That's a red flag. The other thing is the early CEO, the original founder, is long gone. Adam Ludwin. Now, I pulled up some old interviews here, and this is in 2016, where he went on This Week in Startups with Jason. I forget his last name. He's on the All In podcast. That's this guy right here, Jason. Right, so this is back in 2016. Adam Ludwin, the CEO of Chain, on creating his tool for top financial firms to use blockchain. In my opinion, let me just summarize this real quick. This guy, Adam Ludwin, and his early investors, including Citigroup, NASDAQ, etc., and everybody else who was on the inside, they were really pumping this thing up back in the day. And they really were sitting down at the table, and they had some real collaborations. This looked really promising. This looked really good. At some point, he made his exit. And I don't know if it was when they got acquired by Interstellar, or it was basically Lightyear, which became Interstellar. I don't know if that's when he made his exit. I believe it was. But either way, around that time is when he made his exit. And then they had that other guy that was CEO for a minute or two. And what was his name? Deepak Thaplyal. Another VC NFT investor, kind of a weird guy. I looked up his page. Who is this? And now he's gone. So we have no idea who's even there. But it is my opinion that right now you have a real community effort. And I got to commend the community. There's a real community effort here to, kind of build out an ecosystem, build this out. And with the company Chain, maybe they will end up getting some big partnerships and some big adoption. And you could see some good things happen with them. But when I look at a website for a big Web3 company, and they don't have one picture of somebody working there, they don't have a picture of a CEO, they don't have a picture of anybody, I don't invest. Point blank, period. I'm keeping my money. If you can't put your face behind it, I'm keeping my money. Now, when it comes to momentum trades, I'll hop in a meme coin for a momentum trade. And that's exactly why I hopped into XCN. It is my opinion that the community is trying to make this something, but I believe that there's insiders, and I believe that Justin Sun's one of them. There are insiders that are trying to build up these narratives again and build up this token again so that they can find themselves more exit liquidity for the tokens. I think that the early investors in Chain, they've already made their exits, they already made their money, and they got what they needed out of Chain. In Chain, back in 2015, 2016, 2017, they were getting what they needed out of these partners, right? Because they could tout that we're partnered with Citigroup, we're partnered with NASDAQ, and that helps pump the company. That allows them to get acquired by Lightyear. That allows Adam to cash out. That allows other insiders to cash out. And what's left at this point? What's left is, I don't want to call it a shell company, but if I can't tell what's actually going on at the company, what is it other than a shell? Right? So I'd love to be proven wrong. I'll leave you with this. What I need to see from Chain and XCN going forward is really what I'd like to see is, who's behind Chain and who's actually buying their services. Because the only real developments that we've had in the past month has been, a lot of hype, a lot of narratives. The staking has been one attraction. A lot of people have been wanting to stake because you get 30%. It was at 40, 50, 60% for staking. Now it's down to 22, 23. So the staking's there. That's great. Awesome. And then Chain offered discounts. Basically, if you pay in XCN for their services, you could receive a 30% discount. And then if you're staking your XCN, you will receive 75% discount. Now, Chain services include building out private networks, NFT launches. They're basically just helping other companies with their Web3 plans. So if I look here on the front page of their website, they have their Chain Cloud, Chain Prime, Sequence, and Chain NFTs. So they have a few things here, right? But what I need to see is who's actually buying those services, right? Who's actually buying these services? Who are their clients? And then at this point, you know, the Chain's separate from XCN, right? And the DAO, the decentralized autonomous organization. I get that. So you basically have the community, you have Chain. It's just like you have the XRP community, you have Ripple. We can see what Ripple's doing. We can see the reports. I want to know what the plan is for Chain going forward. Are we, you know, there's a proposal right now to increase the staking rewards. I don't know how that's actually going to work too, but what else is going on? Like what else is going on as far as who is Chain partnering up with, who's buying their services, and then what's the end game with this XCN protocol? Like, is anybody outside of Chain actually using this token and this protocol to build anything? I can't find it. I don't see it. I'd be happy to be proven wrong. But in summary, I'll leave you with this. And I just went over this in my Discord weekly call. And I explained why XCN for me will not be a long-term hold. XCN for me was a momentum trade and continues to be a momentum trade. And the remaining portion of my bag that I do have will be dumped. Full disclosure. I'm not going to say publicly what price I will be looking to dump my XCN tokens at, but they will be dumped. And this is not a long-term hold for me until I see more development, more adoption, more independent builders and developers. I want to see something cooking, not narratives that are back from 2015 and 2016. Folks need to understand that. Not narratives like this is JPM's project. That's not true either. This is not JPM's project. Citigroup, NASDAQ, all of those early investors, I can't find anything that they have to do with Chain. I can't even tell if they're still invested. And I don't know of any of them that actually are holding or using the token XCN. So for that reason, I said the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be effective, and we're here to make money. So if you wanted me to pump up this token, that's not how I roll. If you're new here, you should understand that I put basically my truth forward for the people to see, and I'm not going to pump up something. I'm not going to blow smoke up your you know what just because you want to hear it. Just like Jack Nicklaus said, you can't handle the truth. And I hope that our community is strong enough, mature enough to handle this truth. And, you know, if you do have something, send it my way. If we get some big partnerships, we get some big deals, send it my way. I'd love to see it. But for right now, my end conclusion is that XCN is still a momentum trade. I will be exiting my position completely. The previous all-time high is 18 cents. And I'll be honest, I think that it struggles to go past that. Now, hopefully you still like me. Hopefully you still appreciate our content. I know the real ones do, because you guys come for the real stuff. Not for me to give you fluff, not for me to pump it up. Because you got to be really careful and watch out, because there's other people that are pumping these things up and buying into these narratives and selling you these narratives. And they're treating this as a short-term trade, but they're pretending that this is a long-term hold with real fundamentals. And this is why I will continue to compare every single project, every single blockchain, every single company to the standard, which is Ripple, which is XRP. There's a big difference. I hope you guys appreciate this update. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless you all. Thank you. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.